Hey, it's been a minute. Welcome to Dub Nation, your hub for everything Utah Warriors of Major League Rugby. I am Jarom Jordan. I have not talked to Banksy in 5 weeks. The select season is upon us. There's so much to talk about. Banksy, how you been, man?
I've been good. As a big woolly bear, I've been hibernating in the off season, as most apex predators do. But now rugby's back, so I've come out of my cave and we're ready to go.
You're just looking for honey everywhere. It's crazy. Hey, let's start with this. Congratulations to Joe Mano and the fam for the birth of their child. He and his wife. That's amazing. Congratulations to the Mano clan on the newest member of Dub Nation.
Absolutely fantastic. Like a cute little baby, and it's good to see mama and baby both doing well. Congratulations, Uzo.
We are live on the Utah Warriors Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube account. Subscribe to the podcast version on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and SoundCloud. If you like to listen to Banksy on 1.5 speed, that's what you do if you do the podcast, which is great. If you have a comment, fire away. We'll try and get to some of those throughout the program, which is this tonight. Olive Kilifi, what's up? Utah Select's head coach in the house. He's Coach Kilifi now. Listen, he's not retired as a player. He's just doing this in the fall, okay? USA Uruguay report. Round 1 of the books, round 2 coming up Saturday. We'll tell you how Mika Kruse and Paul Mullen and Sean Pittman and the boys did. And then some news and notes, including one Warrior who is going to move on and play for somebody else. He's been a fan favorite. We'll tell you who that is if you don't already know.
So if you're ready for the rugby season to kick off just like we are, and you can't wait for the Warriors, it's time to get into the Utah Select season. Get your season tickets now. You can get select season ticket packages as well. Just go to warriorsrugby.com and you can check out all of the information on ticket packages available right now. Book it and be ready. Don't miss a minute of Warriors rugby action.
Yeah, absolutely. The MLR season coming up next year, the select season coming up this fall in just a couple of weeks. And this is what the schedule looks like. October 24th. At the American Raptors in Glendale, and then 3 home games, November 6th, 13th, and the 20th. And the head coach of your Utah Selects is one Olive Kilifi, who we welcome to Dub Nation tonight. Ollie, it's great to have you on the show, man. And listen, we got a player picture of you right now. We're going to get an updated coach's picture for the next time, but how does Coach Kilifi sound, man?
What's up, guys? First of all, thanks for having me on. It's always a good time to be on with both of you guys. So, but yeah, like you said, it's an exciting adventure, I guess, for myself. I've always assisted. So I did a little bit of coaching up in Seattle, and so I've always assisted in the coaching role. This is my first time actually taking the reins as a head coach, so it's fairly new territory, and honestly, it's something that I'm learning as I go. But it's I have good people around, so it's I got both of the Seans, and Brandon's been a big support as also with Laha, so they've been helping me in my growth. So no, it's a different title, but it's actually helped me to learn more about the game. It's just on this end, so. No, it's all good.
So how was it getting your first taste, obviously, at the local pro day for the locals workout, which, by the way, sorry I couldn't be there. I did this thing to my knee and my back's got a little thing. Otherwise, I would have been there for the scouting camp, so you could have checked me out in action. But
yeah, for sure.
how was that kind of putting on that scouting cap? Because there's such a wealth of talent here, obviously, from the university programs and the club programs. That was kind of that first dip into carrying the clipboard. How did that feel I know the reaction from the guys had to be great?
No, it was good. So that pro day, there was a huge turnout. So it was that was a good thing, to just see all the all the growth, that has come, and all the interest that has generated, especially from this past season. I think a lot of people that were watching, a lot of kids in college, they were excited about what the Warriors did, and so the turnout was massive, and it was something that we were excited to see. It was like you said, it's a different hat. As a player, you're always so focused and zoned in on your own abilities and things that you need to improve on. And so, in a way that helped me as far as things to look for, but it was also a little different because you're looking at not just individual players, but also questioning how do this player fit in the team environment, and how does this player match, and not just the ability and the skills that player has, but also as a person, you kind of pick up the way they talk, the way they interact with the people there during the pro day. And so, like our big mantra here with the Warriors is team over individual, right? We'll always put the team's interest first, and so those are big things that we were looking for as well. So skill plus character is something that we were looking for. So it was a good learning experience also. So
get us up to speed with kind of where the Utah Selects are at, because this was a group that really helped develop a few players that played significant minutes come MLR season last year. Thomas Tuivasa, Joe Mano before his injury, right? And many, many others. James Fifale comes to mind. So you had first practice Monday. You already got the squad. Now you're practicing for a couple weeks before the first of the 4 games.
Yeah. So it's the Selects has been a huge stepping stone and a building tool for the Warriors. As far as looking for talent, and just like you mentioned, all those guys were big contributors to last year's success. With James and the San Diego game, with the Houston game with Thomas Tuivasa, and Joe Mano, obviously before he got injured, was just one of the blowout wings in the league, for 2020. And so I think the Utah Selects is such a good pathway program for kids that actually want to pursue this as a career and to be able to get their shot into the MLR or the next level. And so just like this season and last season Selects, we have a great group of guys that we selected, people that we feel that could do the job. A big thing about the Selects program is not so much, although we want to win, the big thing is just creating the foundation for these players that do move up to be able to add value to the senior men's team. And so as these guys are playing, as these guys are, developing, we want to be able to choose guys that, that can play at the next level, like James and Thomas and other talent. And so that's the whole thing with the Selects. And I think we have a good group to be able to, bring out the best talent in them and see if they can play at that next level.
So I know last year it was a big deal for a lot of guys like Lance Williams to get a bunch of rehab minutes in as he rehabbed from his knee. And then the local guys, I want to shout out guys like Logan Tongo, who earned his first cap, Danny Christensen, who played a bunch of minutes in that select squad and ended up making, I think we put more pathway players on the first team than any other league any other team in Major League Rugby. How many of these guys do you see making that transition from the Pathway Selects program into that first team and getting a Warriors contract? Because it seems like we've got a pretty rad pipeline going for these guys.
Oh yeah. There's a bunch of talent. There's a lot of kids with natural abilities. Being able to use that ability in the system, our team system, and what we're looking for, and on the senior men's level is really the thing that'll kind of dictate on them getting to that next level. So we, you got guys like LeBron. I think they were academy players. You got Maka, who's a good player. You got Matai, who's playing prop. You also got Trevor, who's showing great, promise already at lock. And so that's a position that we're looking for, right? With
Aston Fortine, yeah.
And Matt, announcing his retirement. These are, like you said, it's a great pathway and a pipeline for these players to see those opportunities and try to take it, especially at the selects level. So there's quite a bit that can make that transition. We'll definitely see as the season progresses how they do, but and ultimately that's Brandon's decision on who can move on to the next level. So no, I'm a big fan of local players. My first year with the Seattle Seawolves, 17 of the players on the roster when we won that championship were local players, and so I believe that if there's more kids in the community that can practice perfect habits, good habits, even if they don't make it to the next level, they'll be able to teach that perfect practice in their clubs, their local college clubs, and then rugby in general will just grow and become, hopefully the standard that we're looking for. So that's, hopefully that's the main thing with that. So I love local players,
Hold up. Did you just break some news? Is LeBron playing for the Utah Selects?
Well, he's okay. So LeBron's on the selects team. So he's actually preparing to go on an LDS mission, but he's training
it's not
with
LeBron James. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's training with us until he can go. So he's definitely someone.
LeBron's going on a mission.
Yeah, so he's actually getting ready to head out. So waiting for his call and stuff. So we want him to still be around training and until he has to leave. So.
For the record, I also think LeBron James would make a great second rower in Major League Rugby. I just like to put that out there. So.
Yeah,
right?
He would. That's good. If you go back and you see his high school football highlights, LeBron James, he could have actually made the NFL too.
He was the top recruit coming out of high school at football as well.
Yeah, he was. A lot of people don't know that about LeBron, man. He was really talented, man. Anyways. Yeah, I thought I'd squeeze that in there.
I can't wait to have Kevin Durant as a lock. I think that's going to be incredible. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Hey, what kind of coach are you? Are you Ted Lasso? Are you, are you hard? Are you like a player's coach? Like, who are you?
I like to think I'm a player's coach. I think I'm real big on details. So like, I can get a little animated sometimes when in training, but out of training it's I just the same, but in training, sometimes I get into it just because I'm carrying the same exact when I'm playing, that's how I am as a player, so it's real hard to turn that off, especially as a coach. I noticed as a coach too, you still have those same sort of attributes, so if you're a real focused athlete, if you're like someone that was, you tend to be like that as a coach too. And it's weird that you mentioned that, but I never thought of that. What kind of coach I am. So,
well, I mean, you could be like
Williams just jumped in. He said he's a mean coach. LOL.
Yeah, so I might be a mean coach, so I don't know. We'll see.
What a bully! At least you're not like the coach from The Order and teaching the 3 Ds of rugby. Did you ever see that? Where you
3 Ds.
You teach them discipline, defense, and the 3rd D, you gotta tackle.
It's tackle.
You tackle them.
That's how I say
it. That's hilarious. I do want to ask you about this. Ishmael Tilialu, a former roommate of mine from New Zealand, says, Jarom, you must be excited to see a BYU rugby legend make a return with the Selects. I think he's talking about my homie Mikey Sua. How's old man Mikey Sua doing? I love Mikey.
So I mean, we all know. we all know Mikey's, BYU rugby legend. That's actually, there's no other kind of title that, because he is, he's one of the best props that ever came out of BYU, right? And so
a round mound a pound.
Yeah, well, I mean, probably collegiate, level here in the U.S. So it's he's an amazing athlete. He's still the same, and when he came to the pro day, he actually lost quite a bit of weight. So he was in really good form, So the big thing about bringing him in is just more of his expertise, his experience in playing in high level games, and just being able to rub that off to the younger players, because we got quite a bit of young guys, and so he brings a little bit more of that journeyman aspect to our team. So which is always good, you know.
Well, and he's such a good guy to have in the locker room. I've gotten a chance to play with Mikey a couple of times as well. Yeah. And Mikey at 75% is better than me at 120% any day of the week than I ever was. And he's just so cheeky and fun. He's one of those guys that lifts an entire team when he's around and involved. So it was great to see him, get back into that kind of shape where he felt comfortable to come out and run. Shouts out, Mikey. I know you're going to see this. I saw him on Pioneer Day downtown Salt Lake in the parade doing his day job. And I was like, man, Mikey looks slim. Next minute, here he is popping up with a brief little cameo in Coach Kilifi's video that, those that know see Mikey there standing in the background. It was awesome to see the kid.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome to have him. So.
Yeah, and that's great because you get this mix of young talent that has a chance, at really having an impact in the future with MLR, and then the vet Mike Stewart. Let's just see what happens here, right? My favorite Mike Stewart story that I can tell, and he and I go way back with his brother, West Jordan, is so BYU had a certain call, like if they needed to take a rest, and hey, someone has an injury. Well, Mikey and another guy got the call at the same time, and they both went down with a calf cramp. Only one of them was supposed to. But anyway, we'll have Mikey tell that another day. Okay, so let's go back to the season and you as a player.
Yeah.
You scored 3 tries. They're all notable. They're all 3 games in a row, I believe, right? The most notable, of course, is against Seattle. This sets up the game winner for Calvin Whiting. What was that like? And do you still think about that months later here? What that meant for the team, what it meant for you personally, having played in Seattle and whatnot? That was such a massive moment for this team during the season.
Yeah, no, it's I still think of it. It's obviously one of the highlight, moments in my career. So it's something I think about, and I didn't know the result of it. I was excited to play Seattle, obviously because they were my ex-team, but I think that game actually put a stamp in my closure there, because my history with Seattle, I had so much, I did quite a bit of things in the community with them. And then, just obviously the 2 years I played there. And so leaving there, it really didn't feel like I was like leaving, I didn't feel like I was like, even though I'm with the Warriors, but that game actually put a stamp on like, okay, I'm an actual Warrior. I don't know if that makes sense, but
yeah.
And I think the fans, being like, okay, you get out of here, kind of helped me feel that way, because before that,
turned into a
hostile
like, oh,
environment. You're still Seattle, you're still a Seattle guy. But then when I did that, they were like, okay, dude, we hate you now, like, and so that kind of was like, okay, now I'm a Warrior. So,
well, it seemed too like from our perspective, that was your kind of return to form. I mean, obviously you had taken quite a break from rugby. We all did with COVID and shutting things down. And that game really seemed like we got the Olive Kilifi that people expected. That was when the leadership, the physicality, the intensity, all those things, when we saw your name come across a press release, that's what we expected. And it's continued to carry on. And obviously all the success since then in leading up to now leading the select. So it's been great to have you here as a leader on this team, brother, and as part of this organization. So welcome home. Seattle, you can't have him back.
And to keep you as a coach is awesome, right? Your role is bigger than player. You're in the community, you're helping coach, which is awesome. Logan Tongo, weighs in on Facebook. Big Oos with your arm. So yeah. It's great. It's great to have you, Ali. We appreciate you taking a few minutes. We're excited about the games coming up October 24th. You mentioned on the road. You're in Glendale, and then 3 home games, baby. November 6th, 13th, and 20th. What should fans expect? Why should fans show up to this in November?
Well, first off, it's rugby, right? I mean, it's an opportunity to watch more of the Warriors, on especially in the fall league, and to be able to see the up and coming talent that's going to be, these are hopefully going to be the future faces that these guys will be cheering for on the senior side. So, coming out, seeing the new talent that's coming through the system. Also, it's just Warriors Stadium is such a great environment, to be able to bring your family to enjoy a day in rugby. Any day with rugby is awesome to me, And so, just coming out, I know the Zions Bank Stadium is such a great environment. So, yeah, so just bringing them out for that, and then they can also expect pretty much the same thing they saw. You know, we're pretty much teaching these guys to play at the exact same level that we want them to play at the senior level. So we're hoping to see fast, intense, high-paced rugby. Mikey Tail type tries. You know, these are things that we're hoping to see this fall. So hopefully they can come out, cheer the boys out, and have fun while they're here. So.
You heard it, Dub Nation. You got to show up to these selects games, a brand new organization in Colorado with the away game, and then the Rugby ATL 404 pathway coming into town. Always intense when we as this kind of rivalry develops now with Rugby ATL between the Warriors. And then All Marines, that's going to be a physical match. And then Legacy Rugby Academy. That was a tough game last year for the select side as well. So lots of work to do, Coach, and we'll let you get back to it. I think we've taken up enough of your time. I think the boys are waiting for you on the other side of the locker room there.
Yeah, all good, man. Thank you. Thanks again for having me on, and hope to see everybody out. So.
Okay. Olive Kilifi, we appreciate it. Thanks, man.
Yep. Have a good one.
Okay, that's Coach Kilifi, the Utah Selects head coach. He's a prop on the Warriors as well. What an exciting opportunity to see Ali get this experience, right? And see some of these vets who are rehabbing or young guys. It's going to be fun, man. November 6th, 13th, 20th. Get your tickets. Get out there. And we do have a special event coming up on that first home game, which is pretty cool.
So hang on. My computer froze. Sorry, Jarom. So I can't read the copy that you sent.
I got you. November 6th at 11 a.m. for Utah Warriors Town Hall. It is a town hall. November 6th, 11 a.m. in the Zions Bank Stadium VIP Hospitality Lounge. Banksy and I aren't even cool enough to get in there. We can't actually go in there. Only you cool people at the town hall can go, okay? You're going to hang out with Sean Pittman, MLR Coach of the Year, GM Brandon Sparks, who's crushing it, and CEO Kimball Kara. So let's go. Well, you can watch the first home game right after that at 1 in Zions Bank Stadium. So make sure you follow us on warriorsrugby.com and on social for information about how to get to that. Okay,
it's actually really cool if you've never been to one of those town hall meetings. These guys are open books, and Sparksy especially is so forthcoming with information. Any question you've ever wanted to ask, those guys are just there to be there for Dub Nation and to answer those questions for you. So it's really cool to be able to get in and be a part of one of those events.
I got a lot of questions. Dinosaurs. What's the story there? I'm going to show up and ask. Okay, USA and Uruguay World Cup qualifier. U.S. gets through Canada, right? Now we're going to Uruguay. They end up playing this game in Glendale, 19-16. The boys get it done. Mika Kruse was awesome in this. Started at 11, left wing, scored one of the 3 tries, started a spectacular other try by throwing a line out to himself and generating that. Paul Mullen was 18 off the bench. Sean Pittman was the assistant coach. This is a really nice showing, especially from Mika Kruse, who really impressed here, back where he kind of started in Glendale.
It was great to see Mika get that start. He's worked his way up. It started on that European tour with England and Ireland, where he really played well, came back to the Warriors and absolutely crushed it at the end of the season and was a factor. Now being rewarded for those minutes with the start and showing everyone what we've known here in Utah for a long time. This guy is one of the best wings in Major League Rugby, if not the best, because he's been known for his elusiveness and his speed down the outside, but really showing his IQ and an underrated physicality on the outside. Kind of like he doesn't have like Z Ngwenya speed. He's close, but he doesn't have Taku speed, but he has that IQ and that physicality that Z would use all the time that would surprise people. Mika has that combination. And when he puts it all together, which he's been doing for the national team, he is an absolutely electrifying player to see with the ball in his hands.
Okay, so a 3-point win is good, but it's not over. Round 2 in Montevideo this Saturday, 4 Eastern on Flow Rugby. The winner qualifies, baby, for the Rugby World Cup in 2023 in France, Pool A, with an aggregate win. Aggregate win, meaning if the U.S. loses by 2 or fewer, they're good, right? So would just win and you're in, right? The loser would play a 2-match series against the winner of Canada-Chile to qualify as America 2 seed for the Rugby World Cup. So hopefully they get it done in Montevideo. That's a long trip.
It's a long haul. I've been following Paul Mullen on Instagram and all the updates that he's got. He's been great about kind of giving you that sneak peek behind the scenes of what the team is doing, how they're traveling and where. But if you're USA Rugby, after a shaky start versus Canada in that first game, they made some adjustments specifically to the front row. Having Joe Taufete back is big. The changes on the left side with Ainu and Pefaliti as well, moving into the hooker position where he normally plays prop. So, it's been a bit of a gamble, but it's paid off, and they're playing good rugby. They control their own destiny now. This is what you want. You want to guarantee that World Cup berth. It's the biggest stage in rugby, and we need to continue to see not only our Warriors, but our Eagles play at that level.
Amen. Okay, final note in the team news and notes angle. Alex Tucci is moving on for the Warriors. He's going to pursue possibility with somebody else. He's Warrior number 3, big personality, huge part of this team the last couple of years. Had a knee injury, came back from it. He was a really good player off the bench this year, part of that Gorilla squad. We'll miss Alex Tucci.
Tucci is absolutely one of those character guys in your locker room. He's one of the favorites, a big personality and a big physical body, always gave everything he had for the club. And one of the Warriors originals. I mean, Warrior number 3, he's the kind of guy you want to root for. And he's definitely a guy that I'll personally be staying in touch with and seeing where he lands, and always ready for a little more Tucci time. So thank you from Dub Nation, Alex Tucci. We appreciate everything you did for the club, brother.
It was really fun to have Alex around. He was great. Okay,
that'll do it for us. Absolutely fantastic hair.
Oh, we're going to miss the hair. There needs to be a free agent with equal to or better hair. It's going to be hard to find, right? They'll have to go maybe overseas. Julie Winder weighs in on Facebook. He'll be missed for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, thanks everybody for watching, listening to this one. That'll do it for us. We're about every other week throughout the offseason, so stay with us. Like and share this episode of Dub Nation. Follow the Utah Warriors on social media for the latest. Couple of weeks, we got some Utah Selects games. Let's go. Okay, for Olive Kilifi, Mike Gieselman, Billy the producer, and Banksy, I'm Jarom Jordan. Go Warriors!